Fester was horrified at what he saw on television last night. Was I right or wrong about this thing?
You were right.
Yeah. All right, so Fester, you watched it.
It was the number one show. You know how they rank their shows?
Yeah.
It was the number one show on Max, HBO streaming service.
Is it number one now?
It wasn't. They have number one movies and they had number one shows, and the Weenage show was number one.
The Weenage show. So here's the deal.
Are there some embarrassing weens on there?
Oh my God!
Freud, please watch the language.
What did I say?
All right, hang on.
God, I hate this.
I was more preemptive than
not
anything.
right.
You didn't say anything, but it was more
It's
preemptive.
not right.
I'm just trying to just stop you before you go too far.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. So if you were listening in January of 2022, right after Christmas break, right after New Year's, and we get back to the MJ Morning Show, early January of 22, Michelle and I and the kids, we were in London over Christmas, and Michelle and I saw this TV show called Naked Attraction. And it's a dating show with full frontal nudity. This is the craziest premise. I came back from the trip, and one of the first things we talked about on the air in January of 22 is, oh, my God, guys, I just saw this show on British television. Michelle and I were in the hotel. We're in London. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. We turn the TV on. We're scrolling, and we come across this TV show, and they've got 6 colored boxes, like big cubes with different colors. And then contestants are standing in each box. And each box has a shade that starts at the bottom and goes to the top. And then there's a contestant who gets to pick. So sometimes it's a woman picking men. Sometimes it's men picking women. Sometimes it's women picking women. So they got the gay, lesbian thing going. They got the straight thing going. And the person who's the contestant picks from the individuals in these glass boxes. And during the course of the game, there's a reveal, and the shade goes up. It shows their feet, their ankles, their knees, their thighs. It gets to their crotch, and there is nothing. It is full frontal female, full frontal male. They are completely naked in the boxes, and that's how the dating show works, is the contestant picks who they're most interested in based on the reveal, and then they eliminate them. No, you're not my type. You have too much stuff in the middle. Oh, I don't like your thighs touching. All kinds of, your things, your things to this, you think, whatever. One woman, I remember one guy, when we were watching in London, one woman was like completely unkempt down there.
Oh,
and it was like, it was like a
Weird Al in a headlock.
It was like Weird Al in a head. Yeah, it was like
That's
weird.
exactly what it was like.
It was like Don.
Leg lock.
It was like Don King down there.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
so
Yes.
so
Like Weird Al and Don King had a baby.
It's
right there.
the craziest show. So we come back from vacation. I talk about it. It's called Naked Attraction. But the reason why we're bringing this up again is I mentioned on the show yesterday that all 6 seasons or 6 seasons of the show are now available on HBO Max, which they now call Max. So all of the uncensored episodes are on the Max streaming service now, formerly HBO Max, now just Max. And so you can watch these things, and they're uncensored. Oh, and I got to point out that the contestant that's picking the naked people, once they get down to the final 2, the contestant doing the picking has to strip their clothes off.
Okay, I have a question about this.
Yeah.
So we watched, remember when you first saw it in Europe, we watched a tiny clip of it on this computer in this office, in the studio.
Yep.
And the thing that shocked me about it is, you know how like if someone's in this is old school, but like a magazine, like a woman in a magazine, she's going to be posed the right way. It's going to be like a flattering, whatever. This is like so almost medical and scientific. They're just like standing there, feet firmly planted in the ground.
What's medical and scientific?
Because it's just not like a pose.
This is
It's
a
not like
naked exploitation show.
That's what I mean.
Where
That's
you're
what I
like
mean.
ridiculing other people's bodies.
Yeah.
And you're discounting them and throwing them out of the mix
There's-
because you don't like their thighs or you don't like, the crotch area. You don't like whatever.
It's like meat at a butcher or something. They're just standing there like not
But what's
pose,
medical
like,
and scientific about that?
because
They're
it's
just
not hand on a
standing
hip
there.
like a Vertuvian man. They're standing 2 feet to the ground, like just splayed out.
Okay.
Rather than like trying to be sexy or like come across.
There's nothing sexy about it.
Right.
So-
that's my point.
Well, listen, when we watched, there were, for instance, there were some women that were very attractive that had amazing bodies. Listen, but
Did the carpet match the drapes? What?
Whoa.
Is it?
Listen, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Listen, what turns one person on doesn't turn somebody else on. Anyway, Fester sends me this email last night, right?
Yeah.
Fester sends this email. I watched that British Naked Attraction show. I made it through the first episode. I don't think I ever need to see that again.
I don't think
Right?
I ever need to see it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you watch it? And by the way, this kind of got dropped quietly. There was no big deal about this. It just shows up on Max, on the streaming service. And there was no fanfare. And it's getting notoriety now. People are realizing, oh, look what they just put this crazy naked British dating show, 6 seasons on Max. Was Allison watching with you?
Oh, we watched it together.
Oh,
And I didn't tell her what we were watching. So it's like, 8:45.
I'm going to call her right now.
We put
Do it,
the
do it,
kids
do it.
to bed.
See, I feel like this show is the equivalent of parents who tell kids to smoke a whole pack of cigarettes to turn them off of cigarettes. Right? This show, like, it's just too much. You watch it, you're like, I never want to see the human body again.
I did that to my kids. I made them smoke an entire cigar and inhale the whole
No,
thing.
you didn't.
Yeah.
At what, at 5?
Yeah, it was like a Winston Churchill.
How old were they?
They're 4 and 7.
No, you didn't. Stop it.
Hello.
Hey, Allison.
Yes.
All right, folks, Allison Fester's wife on the MJ Morning Show Live. So I understand you really enjoyed Naked Attraction last night.
Oh dear God. It was not what I expected, that's for sure. He didn't give me any idea of what we were watching.
Yeah, that's what Fester just said,
Yeah.
that he just turned it on and just it's just in your face, right?
Oh.
Literally. It was a lot in my face all at once, and it was really, really disturbing.
I mean, listen, the human form is the human form, but I didn't tell her anything. I just
Did
put it
you
on.
start with episode 1, season 1?
Episode 1, season
All
1.
right, now, so how many games, how many contestants, and how many rounds?
2
Okay.
contestants.
All right, and what was it? Was it a woman picking men? Was it a man picking women? Was it woman on woman, man on man? What was it?
I'm glad you asked.
Yes.
The first one, Allison, was the woman who picked from like 6 guys of different
Yeah.
races and
Yeah.
sizes and
Right,
everything.
right.
I mean, it was a cornucopia of wieners.
Right.
And then
The most memorable one, though, that I cannot erase from my brain.
Uh-oh.
There was a guy that had a giant elephant head on his lower appendage area, and his trunk was coming out quite far.
yeah, the guy had
And-
like an elephant tattoo with like the trunk was the wiener.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I thought
My
you-
God.
Yes.
Wow.
He had an elephant crotch tattoo?
Oh.
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
That's the one she picked.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
She picked the Elephant Man?
The guy had
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yes, he had a tattoo of like 2 big elephant ears on like
Oh
his
my-
pelvis,
oh
and
my
then like
God.
eyes in his upper area, and then like the
Yeah.
trunk.
Was
I'm
he
like,
blessed?
It's an elephant trunk.
It was like, okay, what first attracted you to your mate? Oh, his elephant wiener.
But that's the
Yeah.
one. That's the one she picked. Anyway, then the second one
Yeah.
was a woman
Picking.
who bats from both sides of the plate. There were women and men.
Oh, so it was
Yes.
a mixed array.
She-
So did she pick a woman or did she pick? So she's bisexual.
And ultimately, she picked a woman.
Really?
So the
Wow.
first woman picked
Well,
Elephant Man, and the second woman picked another woman. And I'm watching this, and the first reveal, MJ, is waist down. It's not like feet, knees. It's like first one's straight crotch. The first
'cause-
reveal was like
yeah,
right up to the waist.
Whatever season that we saw, whatever episode, they didn't go right to the crotch.
Okay.
They lifted. You saw like
Yeah.
knees. You saw the thighs before it got. The shades got raised up because they keep raising the shade to get the full reveal. And finally, once you're down to. I'm trying to remember.
Bottom two.
Bottom 2. Then they reveal the face. Do you choose before the face? I can't remember. But-
Crazy. I feel like the female in the bisexual competition would have the advantage because females just kind of look like more put together, tasteful, demure,
Hey,
right?
yeah.
You would think that. But no. No, they zoomed in so far. It was. I could tell that she'd had a C-section.
Hold on. Melissa saw the show? All right. Melissa in Largo watched last night, apparently. Hi, Melissa. Welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, MJ. Hey, guys.
Hey.
So I binge watched it as well last night, but I put it on not having any idea that they were going to go full frontal right away when they lift that screen.
Right?
And I would just warn you, if you have a 70-inch TV like I do, just to be aware that most of these men are uncircumcised.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
All right, I dumped that.
That's a clinical term.
All right,
You're
okay.
insane.
All right.
A lot of these guys are au natural.
Okay, all right, okay. I kind of, I just dumped that. Now, did Melissa deliver a medical term
Yes.
on the MJ Morning Show? She did.
Completely appropriate.
Did she violate any FCC regulation?
Absolutely not.
She did not.
I mean, she's not comparing them to sweaters.
For 8:20 in the morning decorum purposes,
Oh, my God.
I dumped
My
what
apologies.
I cut what I
Don't-
I
you- you- you-
cut I
You cut the uncut comment.
I
Exactly.
oh my
But,
god.
just be warned that it's in your face. But I will say this. Most men, I do believe a lot of men might benefit from watching it because you feel better about yourself, or you feel like, maybe this is the norm if you're, a little on the smaller side there, because you get to see a variety, and then you get to see, like, wow, there's some guys that...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all right,
you're like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
everybody's bodies are different.
I mean,
Exactly.
did you see the first episode, Melissa?
jeez.
Episode 1, season
Yes,
1? Okay, the
with
same.
the elephant trunk.
Yes,
I would have
with the
definitely
elephant
picked
trunk.
The elephant trunk.
I mean,
I would have picked him as well.
one guy,
sure.
one guy got passed up for like being too endowed, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm not getting anywhere near that.
Oh,
You're
I mean,
out."
all right,
Yeah.
stop.
And I'm like, "That's the best reason to get kicked off this
jeez.
game."
All right. Anyway, Fester, Melissa, thank you so much. All right, Melissa,
honey.
thanks for listening.
Yeah, call me later. We'll have a
So-
watch party.
Oh, jeez.
So-
Exactly.
wait a second.
Yes.
I haven't seen
Do you
this.
need Melissa still?
Melissa, you can chime in if you'd like to, but it's a question for Fester as well.
Okay.
Okay, wait, are you telling me that they critique the actual, like they say they use language to
Everything.
Yes.
talk about, like, hey, I don't like how that looks because it's this or that?
One guy.
Absolutely everything.
The commentary. Oh
one
my
guy
gosh.
because it's straight critique. You're looking at 6 people with their bottom halves revealed, and you're looking at each one. What do you like? What do you don't like? From the maintenance of it to the size of it to the girth of it to everything.
Fester, I don't need that kind of description from
You're
you.
really getting in debt.
Then
I'll-
you have to tell them why you're rejecting them,
Yeah.
what it is about them
Yes.
that you actually don't like. So, yeah, it's a lot of critiquing. I don't think I could have do it. And I have a great body. I don't think I could stand there naked and be critiqued.
Hold on,
Look
Melissa.
at
I love
Melissa,
Melissa.
you've just made the statement you have a great body.
Oh no.
That I do.
Well, hold on. Melissa,
Hey,
Melissa,
hey, if you know, you know.
you are confident. Melissa, how old are you?
45, and I have 4 kids, and I look amazing. So I'm very confident about it. And and I couldn't stand there. Even with the women, when the women were standing there, there was a woman that was a little fluffy, and she eliminated her right away by saying, like, that's just too much for me, And so you have to hear heavy critique about your body, your bum, your knees, even to the way that they were standing.
Yeah, the
The way
stance.
that they were
Yep.
standing was offensive.
Like one guy was standing and he was slightly like pushing everything out, and she's like, "No, that's too much in my face. Get it out of here."
Melissa,
Ah.
thanks for the phone call. I appreciate it.
Love you guys.
Thank you
That's
for
a
listening.
love's a little
Hey,
early for
Melissa,
that.
do you tell 3 people a day to listen to the MJ Morning Show?
I heard you say that this morning, and I am going to tell people. And here's a funny story. My daughter grew up listening to you. My older daughter, she grew up listening to you. And when she heard you guys back on the radio, she said it brought back her whole childhood. And now she realizes why she is as funny as she is, because she carries on your kind of like banter with people.
Wow.
So it's
How old's your daughter now?
you guys are back. She's 28.
So your daughter's
I was a young
28.
mom.
All right. So, and does she listen to us every day?
She does listen to you guys every day. She's
Awesome.
probably in her art gallery right now listening, going, oh, my God, there's my mom.
Oh, she's an artist.
Thank you. Hey, Melissa, have a great day and keep in touch with
You
us,
as
okay?
well. Thank you. Love you guys.
Melissa with the hot body.
Yeah, wow.
Well, I mean,
Super
she-
confident. I
Yeah,
wonder what her
she-
daughter's body looks like.
Right? 28 years.
She can say that. She pushed 4 kids out.